Hey everyone, welcome to Greenlight. So I see the meters going up now. That's so funny. My son was laughing too because none of you guys could hear me, and I was reading this stuff back. So I'm so sorry about that. Excuse me, kind of feeling a little gassy there. But we're gonna get started right now. There's some great Blu-rays out today because you guys couldn't hear me before. Crisis is out today, and let's get started right now. We got a lot of major films that are very important to talk about, so let's do this. All right. So go ahead and you can join me in the comments and stuff like that, and then the live chat, and go ahead and talk all you want. I know there was some new people that showed up, and this is not something normal that happens. I don't normally have problems with the sound or anything like that. I ended up like usually having everything all set up. I don't know what just happened there. I just had forgotten about it. Looking forward to some pool time with the family. So let's see. Let's pull up the first movie today. And right before we get started, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button for videos just like this. We do videos like this every week. I have live videos like this where I talk about Blu-ray Tuesday movies and their special features and what to expect from them, as well as unboxing Blu-rays where I give away movie codes during those, and we talk about my personal experiences with the movies, or why I bought it and why I wanted it in any way. And I started it all during the pandemic to have everybody make sure everybody has like new films to watch, because it's hard during the pandemic, especially if you don't have a bunch of streaming platforms and stuff like that. And even if you do, you're kind of stuck to a certain amount of movies and certain movies and stuff like that, so you can't get exposed to too many. So it's really, really cool what we're doing here, so make sure you subscribe. I'm going to move on and get started on the first film. Don't forget also I do Blender and filmmaking videos, smartphone filmmaking videos too. So this first film here with Gary Oldman, Armie Hammer, and Evangeline Lilly. She's actually the actress from Ant-Man and the Wasp. So she plays the Wasp. She's fantastic in that movie. I actually got to see the sequel, the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, and it was really, really good. Like, I was really excited about them too. And one of those movies that, you know, even though my wife's not really into like Marvel movies, she loves Guardians of the Galaxy, but I always thought of that one to be something it would be worth showing to her, the first the Ant-Man movies, because they're a lot of fun and they're really, really funny. So this movie here is not hilarious in any way. Crisis is about, says addiction is an industry. So Crisis is about a fictional drug that is out there in the marketplace in this fictional film, and how it can all be an industry and how everybody has a play in it, from good guys to bad guys, to people in big industry, big money and stuff like that. So this is not the first movie I'm going to be talking about today that gets into this. So let's go into the next film, because the next film is a little bit more family than this one, so we can move on. But everything I talked about here with Crisis, in the description down below you'll find IMDb links for the filmmakers, for the trailers, for everything about this film, so I highly recommend checking that out. So we're going to move on to our next film, and our next film is a family-friendly movie. It's called Space Dogs Tropical Adventure. And Space Dog Tropical Adventure, I did try watching this earlier today. We tried watching it, and I believe it is a Russian film, and it was dubbed in English, and it's brought to us by Epic Family, which is an extension of Epic Pictures. They created the Turbo Kid movie, which was an indie film. If you know about Turbo Kid, I learned a lot about them coming from the LA Film School, since they're like not too far, like down a couple blocks down. It's a couple blocks west from the LA Film School, and they have an Epic Pictures office, and basically their facility. They have to rent out like sound stages and things like that, like most other production companies that aren't like Warner Brothers and all these places. So it was an interesting film, and they basically been in space for a long time, and they land back onto Earth, but they have to go by the coast of Cuba, and they spent a lot of time in Cuba, which was really interesting. I haven't seen that, especially in a kids film. So very, very cool. So we're going to move on to our next film, Space Dogs. You can find it in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film and for all the films we're talking about today, so you can find out about the filmmakers, find out about the cast, and you can watch trailers and technical specs and things like that. All right, so we're going to move on to the next film. And the next film is a documentary. And this documentary is called The Game Changers. And it's produced by James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I see... let me see here. Ooh, I think I see another notable name here. I think this is about, I wonder if this is about, it has to do with working out or something like that. I see Jackie Chan here as well, maybe. So definitely worth checking out, especially James Cameron involved in a documentary. You know it's going to be a good documentary. He's done a lot of documentaries, mainly like search and adventure type deals like that, like Atlantis and things. So very cool. We're checking out. In the description below, I have IMDb links for this film and for all the films we talk about today. So the next film I'm going to show here is Body Brokers. And Body Brokers is another film that's similar to Crisis. I wanted to split them up here, and when I realized it, I've just left it the way it was, so that you can tell the difference between the two. So Body Brokers is about rehab patients, and somehow they're making money off of rehab patients, and that's pretty messed up. Drugs, rehab, and profit, and it seems to be an epidemic that's going on, especially in the drug world when it comes to just civilians in general that aren't making money from this, that are it's nothing but tragic stories coming from that with addiction and everything. So it's very messed up, and it's something that is worth seeing and knowing about, because these are crises, not to coin that, but these are crises that are going on here in America that are very, very important, and loss of life is huge, and it seems like people are making money off of that. So they're bringing this to light. So you got Melissa Leo, I believe that's her last name, Melissa Led or Leo, I believe it's Leo, Frank Grillo, and Michael Kenneth Williams. Michael Kenneth Williams. He's from Boardwalk Empire, and he was in Inherent Vice too, I believe, as well. The guy's done a lot of great work, and he's playing a really big pivotal character in this film. So definitely worth checking out. So I'm going to move on to the next film, and the next film here. And this film I got pretty excited about, but it was silent. You guys couldn't even hear me. But this one I got quite excited about, and I'm going to tell you in a second. It's called The Mortuary Collection. So I believe this is a whole film, and I watched a trailer of this. It was very well done production value. But one thing I really want to point out here is on the bottom right here, you see it says over 2 hours. 2 hours of special features. You don't see that ever in most movies, especially independent films. So definitely worth checking out, and worth buying just on the fact that you get a lot of special features and a lot of information here about how to make an independent horror film. So definitely worth checking out. We're going to move on to the next film we have today. And the next film we have today, like all these films, like I said, everything is in the description below. We have IMDb links, so you can check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, and everything like that. So this film here is called 86 Melrose Avenue. So definitely worth checking out. It's in the description below where I have the trailer, and you can check out the trailer and check out the cast and crew and everybody on this in this film. We're gonna move on to the next one. I do not have the back end like I said for these, so I'm very sorry about that. So the next film, Test Pattern. I saw the trailer about this. This is quite interesting. They're saying stuff Thelma and Louise because it's kind of like a driving movie where they have to drive around and they're looking at different medical offices and finding a kit for a suspected situation that may have happened in Girls' Night. What was it? In Girls' Night. So she went out in Girls' Night, and she started to explain to her boyfriend what happened, and he's suspecting it was something major like that. So they're looking for this kit. I don't want to say too much of the words because I do have my son here in the vicinity. So definitely worth checking out. Like I said, all these indie movies are not really in the forefront, but they're really interesting and worth checking out. In the description below, like I said, IMDb links for the trailers, and you can check those out there. We're going to move on to our next film. And our next film here is The Violent Heart. And The Violent Heart is about, I believe, I wouldn't say an army veteran, but he just came back from that world, and he's coming into our world where it's not as violent like that, where you got to fight for food and things like that, like in most third world countries. But definitely worth checking out, and it's all these dramas are human stories, definitely worth learning from and checking out. So we have, I see Mary J. Blige in here too. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. So definitely worth checking out. In the description below, I have IMDb links for the trailers, for the filmmakers, and the cast and crew. And we're going to move on to our last film today. And our last film today is called Warpath. And just like how Crisis, I have, I believe these are just like the movie posters, but the quality of the actual JPEG for the front covers of these Blu-rays was so low quality that I couldn't even show it. It didn't even look as good as Violent Heart did. Violent Heart still had a little like pixelation going, but it just didn't look good. So I had to get these and make sure get the posters. But they look exactly like this, just without all the little credits on the bottom here in the date. But Warpath is quite interesting. Much more indie, more of like I wouldn't say micro budget, but they had more of a budget in this one. But this is really cool, and this one is more. It looks more of like a higher budget film. But even looking at I mean, that's sad to say in the trailers, but I could tell that it was just looking around on the cast and crew and everything, that it was a smaller production and one of the first couple movies for the production company. So definitely worth checking out, and it looked really good, action-packed and everything too. So definitely worth checking them out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the playback or in the comments down below if you're looking to check out the film. And we're going to announce now about, I do have a giveaway this Friday. I do have a La La Land unboxing and movie code giveaway. So I do talk about this here, and I talk about how they have 3-hour special features. So I think I kind of go through them kind of quickly, and I look through them or something in the back here, and I talk a little bit about the special features. I usually don't do that too much with the unboxings. I leave them here for this show, the live ones, every week on Tuesday. But thank you for joining me here, and I have so many more unboxings coming up very soon. Alien Covenant will be out next week, and then we'll have Scoob after that, and then many more, as you can see here, that I still need to unbox. So check them out. When you see them, and go on my channel now, I have a bunch more that are already unboxed and stuff like that, so you can check out the full collection. And I'll see you here later. I'll see you here Friday. Later.